this video is going to be fun to edit because my voice is going out and I keep having to clear my throat. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little roundup review of some of the products that I've been trying lately. A little roundup review of the new Trixie collection and the new Rituel de Fille eyeliner. So I actually filmed this the other day wearing one of those products that I'm not wearing today, but the footage got corrupted, lost it, can't use it. So I'm refilming it today in a look from a video I just filmed and should already be up on my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup, especially indie makeup and colorful makeup, and I have new videos every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Also, I apologize if there's some weird pauses or anything. It's probably because I coughed because I'm getting over a cold or something. I lost my voice, so if my voice sounds weird or there's a weird pause, it's probably because I coughed and cut it out. So the first thing I'll talk about is the Rituel de Fille eyeliner. I did have the box. I kept it for that review, but then filmed with it, recycled it, lost the footage. Now here I am. But it came in this really cool triangle, like pyramid packaging that had little things that popped open and opened up, and then there was the orb inside. So this is the Black Orb eyeliner. This is in the Black Orb Enigmatic eyeliner in this shade Iron. So they have the black color of this permanent to their line, and this is a temporary thing. This retails for $29, although you can get 10% off with like a code, a new customer code, or like Teresa's dad has a code, I believe. And these were limited edition. It is still in stock as of filming this. So if you're interested, I will try to have this up ASAP. They are low in stock of some of the other things that came out in this little collection. And I believe the point of this was to try out some new formulas and try out new colors and see how they do, and then maybe make them permanent later, but I could be wrong. So this is a kohl eyeliner, but it is a unique kohl eyeliner formula. So I've used kohl eyeliners before. My go-to is the Haus one, which is a gel kohl, and it's very black, very pigmented. Really love it. But it's in like a pen. This comes in this little pot, so it's like a gel pot eyeliner, but a kohl eyeliner. And they describe this as a unique formula that's not a gel pot and not a normal pencil. Like it's a special formula. And it is a really pretty formula. This is a really beautiful color. So you do get a lot of product in this. This has 6.85 grams of product. That's a lot of eyeliner. It has a 12-month shelf life recommended, and it is cruelty and vegan like their normal products. And it's this really beautiful color. So in the first time I filmed this, I wore it all over my eyes, and I did keep the photo, so I will insert a photo here. And I've worn it other times, and I really like the color a lot. So the first time I wore it kind of like that photo, where I put it all over my eye, blended it out, kept it in kind of a wing, and then I put a shimmer over it. I put one of my Terra Moon singles on it, and it was beautiful. I loved the look. The problem was it didn't last very well. I wore that to the movies. We went to go see The Craft right around Halloween, or a little bit before, like the week before Halloween, so a week and a half ago. And by the time I got home from the movie 2 hours later, it was basically worn all away on my lid. So I don't have oily skin. I have pretty normal skin. I get a little oily in my T-zone. I guess I have oily eyelids. I don't know. I have to use a primer for most products, for most eyeshadows to last well throughout the day. I can get away with some high quality ones, like Pat McGrath, not necessarily using a primer, but they work best and last the best with a primer. That day I didn't use one. I've used it again since with a primer. It did last longer, but it isn't smudge proof or budge proof like the Haus one that I generally use, or other eyeliners from Haus or Lethal that I generally use. It definitely does budge more than I would like. So that is my one con to this. So I have to be conscious of like touching my eye or anything like that because it will smudge. But with a primer underneath, it did last well. I didn't have any issues with that. So, and it does look nice as a wing. It looks interesting in the waterline because it's this really blood red shade. And then just to show, I'm gonna take this is like a little mini Sigma brush and just pick up some of it, since I'm not actually wearing it, and put it right here so you can see the shade. So it's this really beautiful, deep shade, and you can see how nicely it blends out to use all over your lid. So it does blend out really pretty. It's a beautiful color. So if you build it up in one spot, it's a really dark liner, but you can see it does blend out nicely. And I feel like the blended out part doesn't smudge as much as when you have it thicker and darker, but that's the color. Gorgeous, love the color. I just wish the formula lasted a little better and was a little more budge-proof. Like, I want it to blend all of that and then set down, like give you a little bit of time, 30 seconds or so, to blend it, a minute, I don't know how long, but give you some time to blend it out, create the look you want, and then have it fully set down. That's what I would prefer. But it is really beautiful. And like you can see, if I touch this, it hasn't been that long, but you can see how much it can rub out. So even after it's been on for a while, longer than the 10 seconds I left it there, it'll still do that. And that's my one complaint about this. So if they do make this permanent, I would hope that they have it dry down a little bit more. So it can be a little more long wearing. And I'm nervous to try the black because I'm worried that it would do the same thing. So, but because it's such a unique shade, I had to try it. And I would say, if knowing that cravat, if that doesn't bother you, I say it's totally worth grabbing while it's still available because it's such a unique, beautiful color. So being a scientist at heart, I did do some little experiments and play with this in other ways where I didn't just use it on my eyes. I also tried it over primer, without primer, setting spray, all of those. I did comparisons with other eyeliners where I don't have photos of this. I wish I would have thought of that, but I had stuff all over my hands. But I did another eyeliner. I did my kohl pencil from Haus Labs, and I did where half my hand had eye primer and half did not. You know, let it dry for a half hour. I just let them all sit. Then I did the same on this hand, but then I also used setting spray on this hand. And then I went back and tried to smudge them and, you know, see how much they move around. I definitely found that with the eye primer, it smudged a little less, but it did smudge. With setting spray helped even more. So the setting spray and eye primer part, that was the best, but nothing compared to the Haus Labs that did not budge at all. Even the kohl liner from Haus Labs barely smudged. And then when I went to wash them all off, I washed my hands, I think 3 times, and I still had a black line from the Haus Labs. And then this was fully gone, and I had to use a little makeup remover to actually get the black fully gone. So it is definitely not a perfect product, but it is a really interesting product, and it's a really beautiful color. So I'm not mad that I have it. So the other new release that I've been trying out lately is the new blush palette and collection from Trixie Cosmetics. So this is the Just a Girl blush palette. I've already got smudges on it. I've been using it a lot. This and my new Pat McGrath blush highlighter palette are all I've been using. So just like her other palettes, it has these 3 girls in the front, looking very 90s. This is her 90s themed palette. And then it looks like a composition book on the back. So this retails for $28. It is still in stock, and their shipping is really fast, so that's great. I actually ordered 2. One of them is going to be a gift for someone, and they didn't include the gift one. I emailed them pictures of my box and everything, like, hey, you forgot one of them that day, and they immediately sent me out a new one. They were very apologetic, customer service, top-notch, and I really like them as a brand. Everything I like, everything I've tried from them I like. So this is her most neutral blush palette so far. So when you open it up, you get a nice mirror, which I will fold back. And then you get these really pretty rosy tones. So there's Cult Classic, which is the dark one, Total Betty, which is the more light shade, and the shade Moxie, which is the highlighter. You can tell I'm not feeling well because my words fail me, along with my voice being a little weird. I didn't have a voice like at all yesterday, so now that it's back, at least somewhat, I'm trying to get some stuff done. So like all of her palettes, you get a dark shade, a light shade, and a highlighter. Great formula, just like her others. So this is like a nice light rosy nude shade. This is what I have on today. I have actually all three on today. So I have Total Betty all over here and a little bit on my nose. And then I have Cult Classic back here where you can see the depth. And then I have Moxie as my nose, like my highlight everywhere. So you can see Moxie looks very peach here. It is like a rose with a peach. And you can see on my cheek, there's a little bit of peachy pink glow to it, but on my nose and on my brow bone, it doesn't. So it really, putting it on these blushes really brings out that shade, and it blends in with my skin really well by itself. This is supposed to be her most wearable palette, and I think it's my second favorite after Mod About You. So I'm gonna do quick swatches just so you can see. So you can see here's the tones here. So you've got the light shade, Total Betty, which is a Clueless reference. The darker shade here, which is like a burnt umber, she would called it. And then here is that highlighter. And you can see this one's a little more matte and this one has a little bit of a sheen to it. And you can see this looks really dark in the pan, but blends out really nicely. This doesn't look that dark. But if I put them on my arm, you can see there's like a nice nude rose shade, but it can be built up pretty well, just like all of her others. And there's a little bit of a sheen to it. It's kind of a satin. And then there's Total Betty there. So you can see it's that like burnt peach, burnt rose. And then there's the highlighter, which is very beautiful addition. So I think this is a super cute addition to her blush palettes. So just to show you comparisons, here is all four. I have all of them. So she did them in decades. So there's Summer of Love, which is the 60s, Mod About You, which is the 70s, Back to the Fuchsia is the 80s, and this is her 90s themed. So you can see her first one is very pink. This looks really pretty even on me. I really like this tone, and this is a nice berry. I don't reach for pink blushes very often, but if I do, I will grab this. And then you can see Mod About You is my favorite of them. I think this might be my new second favorite. This is definitely my favorite, and that's the orange. I love the packaging, I love the colors. These are surprisingly wearable for orange blushes. I love them. This is a really nice, this is her most wearable highlighter in here. And you can see I use this all the time. The T's are basically worn away. And then there was Back to the Fuchsia is her 80s, which is, if I do a cool look, I really like to grab this. You can see I've used this one a lot right there. There's a nice berry, this really interesting lilac shade. And I think this is a really unique blush palette. I've never seen something like this. Purple blush sounds kind of out there, but this makes it very wearable and very usable, I think, to anybody. Let's see if I can do this without dropping shit. But here's all four back to back. So you can see how much more neutral, how much more nude it is, but it's also still rosy and burnt and still not just like a standard nude blush. But I really love all of these. I'm really happy I have all four, but I think this is a great addition to it. And I'm excited to see what she does next because they're running out of decades. The collection also had a lot of merch and things that I did not buy, including a bucket hat and stuff, but I did have 2 lip glosses. So I've been using these a lot since I got them. This is the one I'm wearing right now. This is Ginger Spice, and I think it's a really interesting shade. It looks a little more cool tone when I first put it on, and then depending on the shades I wear on my eyes, it looks a little more warm. Like when I wore it with blue eyeshadow, it looked way more warm on my skin tone. And then there's Truth or Dare. So this is her full coverage gloss. It's basically like a liquid lipstick, but a gloss. But very comfortable, not sticky at all. Love these. But my favorite is her sheer gloss. That's why I had to grab this one. It's a taupe shade, so it looks really cool toned here. But when worn over just your regular lips, it adds like a little bit of coolness, but just like a shine. And then over a lip pencil or a lipstick or something, it just takes the warmth away a little bit, and it looks really interesting. It's very 90s. really happy I got this. I love the sheer lip glosses from them. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I really, really want them to bring back the sheer red. It's my favorite lip gloss. I try not to use it very much now because I don't want it to go away and I don't want to run out of it. But it is the prettiest lip gloss I have for daily wear. And it was the sheer red from the Red Scare collection, which was a limited edition collection, but please, Trixie, please bring them back. So once again, the blush palette is $28, which I think is a great deal. You get a lot of product. You get 15.3 grams of product. So you get about 5 grams per thing. So they're pretty big, deep pans. And for 2 blushes and a highlighter, $28 is not that much. Plus you get adorable packaging, a good formula, and you get to support a queer-owned brand. So I'm all for that. And then the lip glosses, these retail for $16, which is not as cheap as like a NYX lip gloss or something, but not the most I've spent on lip gloss. And I definitely think they're worth it. They are super comfortable and they last a long time. There's some of these that I've worn, like that red shade that I mentioned before. I wore it every day for weeks and weeks, and I still have half the bottle. So, but now that I have half the bottle, I've slowed down because I don't want to go through it. But I definitely think this is a good price for what you get. Plus, they're super cute. So let me know in the comments below what you think of these products, if you've grabbed any of them or you think you will. I definitely think, despite its flaws, the eyeliner is, you know, an interesting product to try if you have the money to try it and you're really into the colors. And then the Trixie products, I think, just like everything else from Trixie I've tried, is totally worth the money. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.